Hello students, this is the second video on absorption by roots. Absorption occurs by the process of osmosis. About the osmosis, passive transport, active transport, in the last video we already discussed. Now here once more we have to clear our ideas about osmosis. See, this lining is representing the semi-permeable membrane. If it is A side and this is the B side, A side having more black dots rather than the B sides. Black dots represents the solute particles and the small red dots, these are solvent particles. So solvent particles present more here and the less in A side, whereas the solute particles present here more. In simple diffusion, what happens actually, this solute can move from this side to this side because there we are not using semi-permeable membrane. But as there is a semi-permeable membrane, it doesn't allow the solute particles to come from A to B side. Then what will happen? There is a tendency to equalize the concentration both the sides. That's why from B side the solvent particles will be allowed to pass through the semi-permeable membrane and come to A side. So A side pressure will be increased. That means the volume of the liquid will increase here as the solvent particles is moving from B to A side. That's why at equilibrium comes when both sides the pressure will be equalized. Now this like this only, when in the root hair cells water enter from the soil, by the same way through the semi-permeable membrane water molecules enter into the root hair cells, and this is called osmosis. Now osmotic pressure, the pressure exerted from this side to that side when the solvent particles is getting entry. So osmotic pressure is the minimum pressure that doesn't allow the solvent particles to move from one side to the other side. Now what about the tonicity? Tonicity, in the last video I told, it is the relative concentration that allows the movement of the solvent particles. Now we have to clear the ideas, and on the basis of tonicity there are three types of liquids: isotonic, hypertonic and hypotonic. We will explain from this diagram. Here in the first figure the cell size is normal, as we are seeing a plant cell containing a vacuole, nucleus, cytoplasmic area, cell wall and cell membrane are attached with each other, and the outer liquid is not changing the shape or size of the cell. The cell is maintaining its size. So the concentration of the cell sap and the outer liquid both are same, and this type of liquid, surrounding liquid, is called isotonic solution. Outer solution is isotonic solution. In the next beaker, see, this is the cell membrane, this is the cell wall. Cell wall is tough and rigid, so there is no change we are seeing, but the cell membrane is away from cell wall, and the gap we can see very clearly. And this is the shrinked cell vacuole, nucleus, and this is the small protoplasmic area. This type of cell is called the flaccid cell or plasmolized cells. What is the reason behind it? As the outer solution, it may possess more solute particles, यानी कि solute concentration is higher. So from the cell, water molecules, that is the solvent particles, pass out from the cell, and that's why the mass of the protoplasm decreases and the cell shrinks. This shrinkage of the cell protoplasm is called plasmolysis, and the cell is plasmolized cell. When it is happening? When the outer liquid is more concentrated, outer liquid or solution is more concentrated than the cell sap. And that's why this liquid, yani surrounding solution is called hypertonic solution. This figure, it is the size of the cell is more than the size of the normal cell. That is, it is a swelled up cell. And this swelling occurs when solvent particles enter into the cell. When it will happen? When the outer solution is of less concentration than the cell sap. And that time the entry of solvent particles, that is the water particles, in the cell, it is called endosmosis, and due to endosmosis the cell content volume increases, and this increases volume of cell content causing the swelling up of the cell. So this is called endosmosis, and endosmosis causing the turgidity. This is a turgid cell and this is a flaccid cell. This turgidity is caused by the entry of the solvent particles through semi-permeable membrane, through the cell membrane from outer solution. Now the pressure increased here. Okay, cell content exert pressure on the cell wall. Cell wall, cell membrane both are in touch, and cell content exert pressure on cell membrane, and ultimately it will pressurized. The cell wall will be pressurized. Pressure will be exerted on the cell wall. This pressure is called Turgor pressure. And as well as the cell wall exert pressure on the cell content, it will be called wall pressure. Now what is the main cause of turgidity and flaccidity? I hope you understood. This is Turgor pressure is very useful for plants because due to Turgor pressure, the size and shape of the different parts of the plants can be maintained. It also helps in the insertion of the root into the soil, and you have seen that sometimes the root of the tiny plants can insert in the brick wall also. This is due to the Turgor pressure. As well as Turgor pressure help in opening and closing of stomata. These are called the guard cells. When these guard cells become turgid, the inner wall is thick than the outer wall. Cell content exert pressure on the cell wall, but the outer cell wall cannot bear more force. That's why it bend outwardly, and such bending causing the opening of stomata. When the cells become flaccid, after losing water they become flaccid, and this flaccid cell gets straight, and due to which the stomatal pore becomes closed. So the opening and closing of stomata is also due to the Turgor pressure. Not only this, Turgor pressure creates the root pressure, and root pressure ultimately help in ascending of sap in the plant body. Through the xylem vessels, the sap will reach towards the leaves. As well as Turgor pressure may cause guttation. Guttation, that is the releasing of droplets of water through the margin of the leaves, that is from the end points of the veins and venules of the leaves. In tiny plants, the root pressure is sufficient, and due to which the root pressure is sending the water towards the xylem vessels, to the leaves, and at the margin of the leaves, where they are at the extremities of the veins and venules, the water droplets released. It is called guttation, and it is mostly seen in early morning in the down surface of the leaf. Now this is it is called germination. Germination is also helped due to the Turgor pressure. So it is helpful to the plant, and for the sometimes the touch me not plant, if you will touch it, leaves droop down. This is also due to the turgor pressure. Okay, the turgor pressure help in the movement of the parts of the plant body. Drooping of leaves is also caused due to the turgor pressure. Now that's all about the absorption by roots. If you will have